all the mystery or get prepped for a fight. Your favorite handful of die-hard dice tonight. Against those high DCs, a 20 would be nice. Please no one's die-hard dice. Need a crit, you gotta roll with die-hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die-hard dice. Die-hard dice. Rolling scrolls and misshaped spheres, it's so hard to decide. So many colors and designs the Die Hard can provide. Which ones should I procure? So give me some advice. You need some Die Hard dice. Oh well, we suggest you roll with the best. Die Hard dice. Let's get dangerous. Die Hard dice. Don't need dice jail for these bad boys. Die Hard dice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dead Men Tell No Tales, a Ghosts of Saltmarsh story. I am Tessa, your DM. You can find me on Twitter at Silky Dreams, and I am so happy to be back with you all after our winter break. Let's go ahead and go over to our players real quick and have everyone introduce themselves and let the folks know where you can be found. And then we will go ahead and do a quick recap and jump right into things because I believe we left you at a rather interesting point. So starting directly to my right, let's go ahead and start with Coral.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Heather. Tonight I'll be playing Coral, the Lutradyne Bard. And you can find me here on Nerdsmith's Twitch every Tuesday as Val in the Shenanigans, or Friday nights here playing Coral. You can also find me on the Geek Thyself podcast, where every week me and my friend Russell go over a new geeky topic for a half hour. And you can find me on Twitter at amethyst_magic with a CK.
Excellent. And Crackers.
Good evening. Yes, I am Crackers. You can always find me here on this particular live stream, portraying the role of Crackers, the awakened parrot bard. I am joined as usual with my assistant, Matthew, whom you can find on Twitter at Matthew A. Siebert. And you can also find him as the Dungeon Master for the Land Above podcast.
Excellent. And Fortune.
Hi, I'm Jay. I play Fortune, Tiefling Monk. You can find me on Twitter where I post art, like the art that is on stream, and costume things soon, hopefully, maybe.
Excellent. And Jay, are your commissions open currently?
Yes.
Where can folks find your commission information?
It's also on my Twitter at Jaytex, JAYITXD.
Excellent. Gwyn!
Hello, I'm Autumn Blaze, and I play the CL fighter Gwyn Hayes. And you can find me here on Friday nights, and I'm artist and author. You can find my info at Lasalanta Blaze on Twitter.
Excellent. And are your commissions open, Autumn?
At the moment, no. They'll be back sometime in February. I got a little bit busy.
Good to know, though. Excellent. And last, but certainly not least, Jaffer.
Hi, I'm Zach. I play Jaffer Zanzib, Captain Jaffer Zanzib, the Rock Gnome Artificer. You could find me on Twitter at DuskFeyDruid. You can also find me on the Nerdsmith Discord, where I run one-shots.
Fantastic. Alrighty. So, as we said, we are just getting back from our winter break, so it is nice to see everybody here. It's nice to see everybody in the audience. Please bear with us. We have some bots in the chat tonight. We're testing a couple of things out, trying to find a bot system that we like best of all. So if you see a random post and it just doesn't quite make sense, please bear with us. It is our production crew testing things while we are live, because sometimes it's a little bit easier to judge how a thing actually works when, you're actually streaming. So, without further ado, though, let's talk about what happened last time. Our party found themselves on the Island of Pleasure, a paradise, or so they had been told. At least it was in its glory days. Gellin brought them to the island in search of allies on their way back to Saltmarsh, and instead of finding a beautiful island jewel, they found a decaying, rotting slum. They also discovered and heard of a slew of suspicious murders that had happened recently, and after a bit of investigating, learned of a Mr. Dory. They also learned that Gellin has a bit of a history on this island as they visited the Sloppy Sandbar, and that he's been known to participate in pit fighting from time to time. After they turned to the mysterious Mr. Dory for more information, they discovered hints of an aboleth lurking below the city, and have headed out to the Frother's Lamp to investigate further because of a note that was found in Mr. Dory's study. The bots are counting down to the beginning of the show. That's how we know. So everybody, let's set sail, shall we? You find yourself at the beginning, just outside of a strange looking, almost a bar, maybe? It looks like it's some kind of structure that's been cobbled together from a partially sunken galley ship and some empty apartments underneath an abandoned pier. The area surrounding the temple is filled with partially collapsed buildings and walled-off alleys. You can see that newer buildings and boardwalks have been built around it, and the entire place just reeks of mildew and damp. You can hear the creaking and groaning of surrounding buildings and ships. And as the sun sets, the shadow of the lighthouse leads directly to the door into this ship. So a tangled wall of apartments and storefronts in front of you now rise up on either side of a sluggish, tainted water channel. The overall effect is kind of that of a canyon with walls made from a cross-section of a decaying shantytown rather than stone. At the apex of the shadow, a narrow timber bridge sags across the channel, leading from the back of a crooked alley to what appears to be a partially sunken entrance. What would you like to do?
And this is this still outside the Frother's Lamp?
Yes, you are outside the Frother's Lamp. You were told to follow the shadow, and you can see the shadow basically. If you are on Roll20, I'm pinging the directions. There's this little bridge, and it's basically leading you right to the very edge of the bridge where it looks like it sinks into something.
So we follow the shadows and go across then?
Guess so.
Looks like.
Yes.
Jeffrey Green's walking forward.
All right.
There we go.
It is not particularly long, maybe 40 feet or so, and it's easy to cross. The only noise that you can hear is the lapping of the water against the shore and the creaking of the wooden bridge that you're on. As you come to the edge of the bridge, there's a sharp left turn leading onto what appears to be the deck of the ship. Not much to really see. It looks like the main deck of the ruined ship has kind of buckled and it's cluttered with trash, driftwood, and other refuge that is washed up with the tide. To the east, you can see the prow jutting out into the channel like a jagged fang. And the west side of the deck disappears into a wall of boarded up and badly weathered buildings. And the only clear pathway across the tilted deck leads from the bridge to a pair of massive wooden doors leading into the buildings. But you can explore the prow as well.
Oh, that's not ominous.
Not at all.
What would you like to do?
Coral's gonna start walking around on the deck and looking around a little more, trying to find anything else and see if there's any other entrances or any information.
Okay. As you come on, you can see off to the right, you see the double doors. Off to the left is kind of a raised area that is still tilted with the rest of the ship. If you would, are you going to try any of the doors in particular?
She'd probably put her ear up against the double doors and listen for a second just to make sure she didn't hear anything.
You hear low murmuring, though it does not sound like it's directly behind the doors. Almost like sound is floating up from somewhere.
She doesn't say anything. She just starts waving people over.
Yeah. Portia will move over.
Colin heads over. She's not sure she wants to play up over in the deck over there.
Jeffrey finds this fascinating because this is like the ship is just kind of like jutting out of the side of this. Was it like a cliff?
Yes, basically like a cliff and a bunch of old apartment buildings that are kind of dilapidated around it as well.
Makes you wonder how it ended up here.
Agreed.
It is
Yeah.
something of a mystery.
I can't hear it very well, but there's definitely voices and murmuring coming up from somewhere. You can hear it if you put your ear against the door.
Fortune will lean up and try to listen.
You can also hear the low murmuring. It sounds very quiet and distant.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Startled me. Thank you so much for the follow. That moment where things are quiet and tense and it just startles you slightly.
So I mean, we were going towards the Frother's Lamp. Is this the Frother's Lamp?
It
Or
is
is
directly
this
to
beyond
this. It's directly to the side. The Frother's Lamp is the bar that's next to it. You were told that the lighthouse, which is the Frother's Lamp is part of the lighthouse, that the shadow at sunset of the Frother's Lamp would lead you to the temple.
Oh, okay,
So this is where it has led you.
Pointed here.
gotcha.
No worries.
Well, we can pick through the refuse up here and see if there's anything, or we can go through there where we know there's something.
Right. It definitely doesn't sound like it's close, though, so there's got to be further down or something.
That's good. Possibly.
Maybe they connect to the same place.
I don't do so good with the quiet.
I never would have noticed, Jaffa.
My armor is awesome. Shut up.
It is awesome, I'll give you that.
All right, so do we want to try these double doors or do we want to look for a different entrance and see if that's quieter?
Alright,
If I put my hand, there are doorknobs.
There are doorknobs, yes.
If I touch the doorknob and slightly turn it, is it locked?
The doors are locked.
Well, the doors are locked. So, I could try to get into them, or we could try to find a different entrance. I don't know where else you're gonna find an entrance to it, the rest of the ship. Unless we could, below. I could try to break the boards.
Well, I mean, depending on whether or not wood rot's set in, the rest of the town looks pretty bad here. It might not be too hard to get down, but I don't know that it'll be quiet.
Jaffer's a shipwright. Does she like feeling how did the ship like creak when everyone like stepped onto it? Is it like definitely worn?
It's definitely worn. You can hear the creaking of the ship, just even as the tide comes in and the waves wash on it. You mentioned it wouldn't be necessarily too incredibly difficult to break the wood, but given that the doors are in similar condition, it might almost be easier to break down the door or pick the lock than break through the wood of the ship. It might be less conspicuous.
I'm willing to unlock the door if we think that's what we want to do.
It seems the most direct approach.
Yes.
At
I
this
think
point,
so.
it's our best information.
Sure. And stopping a cult.
Hey, that seems important.
Yeah. What's with us in cults, though? We keep running into them.
It's the life of an adventurer.
This is
That's
old.
true.
I never met a cult I liked, so
Seems to be something about living on the water inspires this sort of thing.
Hey, now, it's not that bad. We don't all become cultists.
I have to agree with Gwilyn. Not all of us do it. If we did, there'd be a lot more interesting situations on the ocean, that's for sure.
There's that. Alright, so I'll look around up there a bit while Jaffer works on the lock. If you need help breaking it down, if that doesn't work. Not that I doubt you, just, that the locks might not be in good condition.
right, yeah. It's the lock's problem. I understand. I agree. It's the lock's fault that I'm not able to do this. Jaffer pulls out her lockpick, and gets ready to pick the lock.
Righty.
Gwilyn's just checking the rest of the ship that we can get at right now.
Alright, so you're heading over to the prow, and
Yes.
Jaffer is going to pick the lock. Okay, Jaffer, go ahead and make me a check with your thieves' tools to break open that door.
Okay. Is this a dexterity check?
It is a dexterity check, yes.
Okay. It's the lock's fault. So I rolled a 2.
Okay.
That's +6, so an 8.
So it doesn't quite break your tool off in the lock. It's a little bit more difficult than you had anticipated. You can feel it trying to give as you pick. You imagine a little bit more force than it probably would go. Gwilyn, as you're walking over, you can see that the ancient ship's prow juts up from the foul water, and its tilted surface is a hopeless tangle of trash, driftwood, and filth. And there are scurrying sounds within the detritus that suggest the presence of a great many rats.
So I double my proficiency, so does a 12 do it?
Oh, so close. You're pretty sure you almost had it. Like, you're pretty sure that maybe just iota more, and it would have popped.
Jeffrey punches the door.
All right. Would you like to roll damage for the door if you want?
I mean, she has a +1 to her strength, so sure.
All right.
I mean, should I roll to hit it?
Yeah, go ahead.
And now I get a 17. So that's
You definitely.
I'm not. So it's an 18.
All right, so you've definitely hit the door pretty solidly, and you can
2
feel
damage.
some give to it.
Do you
Having
need
some
help over
problems,
there?
Jaffa.
It's the door's fault.
Told you. It'd be the troubly rest here on the water like that.
However,
Is that why you punched it?
right? Yeah, it made me look stupid. But however, when I punched it, though, it did give a little bit. So, Fortune, you're pretty good at punching things.
Yes. I can also just unlock it. I could.
Right? Yeah. With this impossible lock, I doubt it.
It's always good, but I know that the salt crew is back.
Never put your hands on her hips.
Gwilyn's trying to identify whether they are rats or spiders because she doesn't trust ships like this anymore.
Right. Have you ventured all the way onto the prow, or are you just standing at the base of the stairs looking up?
She'd have made it to the top of the stairs, but
Okay.
trying to move carefully, not step directly in a pile.
All right. All right, Jay.
Well, I don't actually have these tools, so I can't actually unlock the lock.
Beautiful.
I could give them to you.
Would you like
And
me to
we're
try?
back!
Yeah,
These are unattuned ones.
While they're waiting, Coral leans over towards Crackers at one point. Maybe one of us should learn that knock spell that unlocks things.
I mean, I also have lockpicks, so
I could have used Jaffers to try to unlock the door before I just break it down, because that's very.
Gallons just kind of leans over into Coral and Crackers. Are they always like this?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I did a little bit worse, so I only rolled a 3. But
Jaffer's right. It's absolutely this door. It's just cursed. It's the door's fault.
Oh, okay.
It's totally the door. Has to be. There's no other explanation for it.
Definitely not, because I literally just learned how to do that.
Crackers has offered to try as well.
Let Crackers try.
Oh, is it my turn? Very well.
If you can't get it, I'll just break it down.
26.
It is like the easiest lock you have ever picked. Crackers, you're not entirely sure what they were struggling with. A child could have unlocked this door with the ease that you managed to maneuver the lockpicks.
We loosened it up for you.
I don't even look at the lock as I pick it. I'm staring at the two of them and just doing it by feel.
To be fair, my hands are bigger than Jaffer's, and I was trying to use her
Mm-hmm.
lockpicks. They're very small.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point. Yeah.
I like the idea that Crackers is just me around the lockpicks.
As Crackers deftly unlocks this door, and there's a satisfying pop of the lock and then my pen cap goes flying off, much like the door locking mechanism. Gwilyn, there is a scraping sound from the prow as a spear comes out of nowhere from behind one of the piles of refuse and lands at your feet, point down in the wood.
Yeah, there's things up here besides rats.
Roll initiative.
Just Gwilyn or everybody?
Well, right now, Gwilyn's the only one in range of them. But if you are alerting everybody with there's more than up here than just rats, then everyone may roll initiative. Heather, would you please be my initiative tracker?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got a synthetic 20.
18.
16.
As you watch, there are 4 of these creatures coming up from different piles around the prow of the ship. A sickly white, almost translucent color. They look like they were human at one point, potentially, or humanoid, but now they have developed thick gills that kind of ooze this phosphorescent type liquid. Large, bulbous kind of growths come off of them, oozing a similar liquid. As 4 scum pop out of nowhere, all wielding tridents.
What did Crackers get?
15 and a little grossed out.
See,
Shall
They're
I be
pretty
more or
gross.
less descriptive in the future?
Probably
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized
Can't
I
wait
did
to
my math
punch
wrong.
one.
I got a 19, not a 21. I read my dice wrong.
That is okay. I
no,
will post a picture in the Discord chat for my players to see what they are fighting. That is not what it was. Apparently, I'm going to fight with my computer today to do what I want it to do. Or not. Fine, but I guess no one gets to know.
it remains a mystery.
It remains a mystery. There we go. And I will also post it in
Cool.
the chat.
They're so lovely.
Aren't they nice?
Yeah,
Huh.
it looks friend shaped.
Children you
Totally.
can put in a little like case in our place of living.
Yeah.
It's like a squid version of the Fly movie. Like just a
Yes.
human and a squid got mashed together in a very unappealing way.
Alrighty, I've managed to also post that into the stream chat so folks can also see. And
Enjoy.
Gwilyn, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Coral, really quickly, what is your dex modifier?
+3.
You actually will go before the scum.
Oh, okay.
Go for it, Gwilyn. There are 4 of them around you.
Okay, 21 for the first hit. She's just attacking with her swords as usual.
Yes, that does hit. Chiffon, if you are also allergic to shellfish like I am, then yes, I imagine that we would both be allergic to it.
And 13 and 16 for the other 2 hits.
The 13 does not hit, the 16 does. You know you have a problem when you try to reach for a pencil And the first 3 pencils you grab are all fabric pencils.
And that is 20 damage total.
Excellent.
She
So-
just aim for whichever one's closest.
Perfect. We'll call him Scum 1. Has 20 points of damage. Alrighty. Coral.
Okay, so how many came out of the piles of stuff again?
4 of them.
4 of them.
Yay.
Okay. All right.
I forgot to roll for Gellum. Gellum will go last.
I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast at the 3 that didn't get attacked by Gwilyn.
Alrighty.
So that's a 25, 23, and a 16.
Those all hit.
Okay.
So 1 on each of them,
1d10.
correct?
Yeah. And then it's 1d10. Okay, so 10, 6, and 7. To the 3 different ones.
Alrighty. Excellent.
And then okay. Bonus actions. I don't remember because it's been so long since I looked at this character sheet. Okay, I'm gonna use inspiration and let's see. Okay, it's a D10 now. My brain is not in song mode, so she just looks over at Jaffer and says, "So you're gonna get in on this fight then? You gotta show him who's boss." And you get a D10.
Alrighty. So, the scum that you had hit, Gwilyn, looks over at you and narrows its eyes. It doesn't have a mouth per se, but in your head you hear, "Join us," as it tries to convince you of joining its plight. Do you respond at all?
Not if I have to look like that, thanks.
Right, so, instead of getting a new friend, it decides to rush you instead with its trident. Does a 19 hit you?
That depends on whether I'm allowed to use defensive duelists.
Remind me what defensive duelist does.
Okay, because I've never used it before. When you're wielding a finesse weapon with which you're proficient, another creature hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to add 4 to your AC for that attack.
Then yes, you may.
Then I have 20 and it misses.
Alrighty. So it misses with its 2 attacks with its trident,
20.
but it reaches out to you again with its mind, and you feel something pierce in your head as you take 18 points of psychic damage, and you now have disadvantage on wisdom saving throws until the scum's next turn.
Noted.
One of the scum slithers off the side of the prow and disappears beneath the water, leaving 2 others that begin to walk forward towards Coral and the rest of the group. Then it would be Jaffer's turn.
Jeffrey turns to Coral and says, "I sure am." And she pulls out her wooden gun and points it at the scum. And there are 2, you said, or are there 3?
There are 3 of them.
One for each. As she draws it and begins to mutter under her breath, and as she does, a arcane glyph, like magic circle, kind of appears in front of the gun, and then triplicates. And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at each one of them. So I have to roll to hit.
Alrighty.
I'm going to use the inspiration for that first one. Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit. It is their magic number.
Okay, so that first one is going to take 4 points of fire damage.
All right. Ooh, it does not like that. It does not like that at all.
The second one does a 14 does hit, so you said that. That's a 14 to hit. The next one will take 10 points of fire damage. And the third one, that is 17 to hit. And that'll be 6 points of fire damage.
Excellent.
And that's Jaffer.
Awesome. I believe that brings us to Fortune.
Okay, I'm going to move up to between, or kind of between the 2 that had moved up closer, and I'm going to swing at them. I'm gonna, yes, I'm going to do Flurry of Blows, so it's 2 on each.
Alrighty.
Well, I missed the first. Wait, one's a 10, and the other one is 13. So 10 and 13 for the first one, and then 20 and 20. So, 19 on the die for the second one.
Alrighty.
So 20 damage on the one that I did manage to hit.
Alrighty, which I believe was the second one, yes?
Yes. And I'm
Alrighty.
going to stay there, like, within range of both of them.
Alrighty. That brings us to Crackers. Crackers, you have just gotten this door open. It was super satisfying, and now people are in trouble because your group can't stay out of trouble for 5 seconds, can they?
'Tis my burden to bear. Well, I shall look at the one of these creatures that was burned by Jaffa, and I suppose they all were, weren't they? Well, whichever one is closest to Gwilyn,
All
I
right.
shall look at that one, and I shall unleash a powerful screech that shall penetrate its mind. It must make an intelligence saving throw against my id insinuation.
That
I'm sorry, a
is-
wisdom saving
Ooh.
throw. My mistake.
That is a little bit better, but that's still only a 13.
Oh no, it fails. It fails, I'm afraid. The target is incapacitated, and at the end of each of its turns takes psychic damage and can make another wisdom saving throw thereafter.
All right. How much psychic damage did it take just now?
None until the end of its turn. It will take
Ah.
psychic damage then.
Excellent. Alrighty.
And as a bonus action, I shall, I shall hum a soft tune. I shall say, "You guys attacked us, but you'll be sorry. Hey, Gwilyn, make them calamari." And I give Gwilyn a D10 inspiration die.
Wonderful. I love it. Alrighty. So Gwilyn gets inspiration and Gellin steps up and immediately runs forward and lays out a huge haymaker against one of them, spending a point of moxie to brace up and knock him to the ground. And does so quite satisfyingly. So you get the idea with this one hit of why Gellin is a bit famous in this town, as this one punch just knocks this creature completely flat to the ground, and pushing him back several feet. He's definitely not out of the fight by any stretch of the imagination, but he might think twice about getting back up after that.
Fortune looks delighted, like just so good.
All right, and that brings us back to Gwilyn.
Right, as long as I don't have to eat it, crackers. I don't like that. Stay out of my head. Two misses and a nat 20.
Alrighty. Let's get that sweet, sweet nat 20. Are you attacking the same one as before?
Yeah, probably because he's right there and he hit her.
Alrighty.
She holds a grudge. Sorry, I lost the page. My info was on.
It's all good.
$14? Yeah. It wasn't a great roll. Or no. Because I had...
Remember, on a natural 20, you take max damage, then plus your roll.
That's right. Thank you.
No problem.
So it was... Yeah, that would be 18, right? Is that right? Plus, yeah, that would still be 18.
Okay.
I got it. I just can't add today, apparently.
That's okay. I can't add most days.
That's fair.
As you strike into this creature, it starts oozing a little bit of this phosphorescent liquid, and it looks unhappy. Coral, if you have nothing left, it's all you.
No, she's just insulting him.
Alrighty. Coral.
Okay. Yeah. So she's gonna move forward to stand next to Gwilyn and attack the one that hit her that she just hit also.
Okay.
So she's gonna attack twice. On her way there, I'm going to bonus action cast Blinding Smite on myself and then attack twice with my rapier.
Excellent.
It's a 21 and a 9.
The 21 hits, the 9 does not.
Okay. So Okay, so that's 48 plus 3. That's 21 points of damage.
Alrighty.
3d8 of that is radiant. I don't know if that makes a difference if you need me to separate it out.
I do not, but that is enough for it to topple over forward and just kind of slide into a gelatinous puddle. It looks like a jellyfish at this point, just kind of oozing and settling almost boneless onto the deck.
That looks like the worst sushi I've ever seen.
It's definitely not appetizing.
No.
All right, the one who was laid out by Gellin after seeing his friend become a gelatinous ooze upon the deck, crawls to the edge and slithers off. And the other one, who is completely incapacitated at the moment, stands there dumbfounded. And that is the end of his turn, so I believe he takes some psychic damage, correct?
Yes, he takes 10 points of psychic damage and can then make another wisdom saving throw to attempt to break the effect.
Alrighty, so he will take 5 points of psychic damage. And let's see if he can make this wisdom saving throw. That is a 21.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that failed.
Okay, good to know.
No, it succeeds.
I had a feeling. Alrighty, that brings us to Jaffer. There is one standing left on the deck. The other two have fled off somewhere.
Okay. Jaffer turns to Crackers. Should I attack it?
Yes.
Okay. Jaffer shoots a firebolt at it.
Alrighty.
That
We're
is
not
a
adding
15.
this one to the menagerie of pets.
Oh, no, definitely not. I wouldn't do that. That's a 15 to hit.
And that hits.
Okay.
Too rude to be a pet.
$25 points of fire damage.
Describe
Only two
how
tens.
you flambe. You have flambéed this scum. Describe your moment. Thank you very much for the sub. Hello, Chad. We are barbecuing scum. Or Jaffer is.
Jaffer shoots it in the chest and sears a hole in it. And then just slumps to the ground all gross like.
So you've crispy fried its interior bits, but the outer bits are still raw somehow as it kind of slurps down onto the deck, for lack of a better term. And it goes quiet.
Jaffer runs over to the, or kind of walks as much as she could over to the side and tries to see where the one that slid off went.
You see fading ripples in the channel of the ocean.
That's not good. Potentially not good.
No, potentially not.
I agree. Gwilyn, you look a bit uncomfortable there. Hold still. And cure
That's
wounds.
not too bad, but thank you.
Yeah, cure wounds level 1, just because I know you didn't take a ton of damage, but we don't know what we're going to be facing.
I knew the prairie was a bad place to be.
That's 12 points of healing.
Unfortunately, a thorough search of the prow yields nothing but gross refuse.
All right, so the doors now, since Cracker's got them open.
Hey, good job on that. Difficult
Thank you.
locker here. Let's go then.
Jaffer puts her nose in the air. She's not very. She's like, oh, whatever. I don't really care. She walks in.
as you
I told you.
open,
Those locks.
as you open the doors into this hallway, it reeks of mildew and rotting fish. The walls are completely stained by something, and the ceiling sags where pockets of water and fungus is weighing it down. You can hear the sounds of creaking wood and dripping water echoing. And faintly above everything else, you hear voices. You can't make out what they're saying, but there are lots of them. It's almost like a low, sustained chanting of some sort, perhaps?
That can't possibly be good.
Oh.
Why can't we
No,
ever
I
run
don't
into
think it is.
cultists of some kind of clean god? It's always somewhere nasty with mildew and garbage everywhere. It smells.
That's cults. That's what cults do. They make you gross. We should try to be quiet, though.
Yes.
Aye.
Agreed. We don't want them knowing we're here any sooner than necessary.
Stealth it is.
Alrighty.
Jaffer is going to gesture to herself, and she's gonna like touch her head and her shoulders and her knees and her toes, and then she begins to like levitate in the air, and she'll just like grab onto Gwilyn's shoulder, and she's kind of levitating there. Okay, we can go.
Alright then.
We have 10 minutes.
Nice trick.
Alright, I'd like you
who's-
all to make
Who's
stealth
the
checks.
loudest out of us usually?
Jaffer.
Jaffer.
Is it just
That's
Jaffer?
fine.
Okay.
Alright, so stealth checks, please.
19.
29.
Ooh, 22.
Also 19.
Alrighty.
Should I roll as well, even though I'm levitating?
Yeah, just in case you get a little too crazy and you bump into something.
A 5.
You can roll an advantage. You are levitating.
Okay, good. Then it was a 16.
Alright.
To answer your question, Chad, clothes are for humans. I shan't be constrained by them.
That's debatable.
Alright. Nobody hears anything from the people chanting. You guys appear to be doing just fine. As you make your way through this tunnel, the chanting grows louder, but you don't run into anything else. At the end of the hallway, there's a wide flight of stairs leading down to some sort of pool of slimy, murky water. The shape above the stairs, as you're about to enter, is a rotting shark's carcass which hangs from the rafters on frayed, mildewed ropes, and humanoid heads in various states of decay have been crudely lashed to the shark's flanks. As you
I
peek,
don't
go ahead.
like that.
Safe.
I don't think you're alone in that.
Explains the smell though.
do you continue further, or no?
No, we all turn around and go home.
That is an option. You are allowed to say, fuck it, I'm out.
Does this come across as just a macabre display, or is it like a ritual.
Please make a religion check.
15.
You're not entirely sure what god it's dedicated to, but this looks like some sort of maybe religious offering? Whatever it is, it's gross.
That's gross.
Yes. Yes, it is gross. Gellin actually reaches into his pocket and pulls out a silk handkerchief and puts it in front of his nose, gagging slightly. Oh god, this is awful.
It's not pleasant, that's for sure.
Kind of wishing that we'd gone to that thing of yours that we're not to talk about, because you don't want to go on about your glory days instead of this. It would have smelled a lot better.
Oh, I might need to bathe in alcohol after this and just burn everything we've touched.
Same.
I'm never going to be able to get the smell out of my fur.
Oh no.
Shaving it is then.
Absolutely not.
I will say, at any time, if you guys do decide that you are done, you are allowed to absolutely, I do want to say this for the audience and for my players, if there is ever a situation where you guys feel like, no thank you, I would not like, you are absolutely 100% allowed to say, you know what, screw it, we're gonna go drinking. That is allowed. Just wanted to make sure that you guys know it is 100% all right to do that.
You know, I'm all for exploring this, but I'm wondering if we should just burn it down and leave.
I could do that.
I know a fire spell. I could help with that. I worked really hard to learn one.
Maybe this wasn't where we were told to look anyway. Could be the same caverns, but
Crackers already saw what we need to see. We're just doing this because we're good Samaritans.
All right, well, maybe we should explore a little more and then decide, but if it's all like this, I'm tempted to just burn it. Although we don't know if there's people down there, like actual people.
I mean, there's something. Do you want to try and get close enough to find out whether they're still among the living sort of people? Is that more what you were going for?
The part that concerns me is those, and she points at the human skulls that are attached to the shark. Because what's to say they don't have more people down there?
That's valid. If there's more people that they're sacrificing, we'd want to try and get them out. Alright, we'll go a bit further. If it doesn't look like something we can handle, we burn the ship and run.
yes.
Does that sound good?
I like the plan.
Agreed.
Alright. Stealth on then for a bit. Try not to breathe.
You venture down into the stairwell. And as you get closer, you hear hundreds of voices raised in worship of some creature. You hear the name Sugathka being praised and Rinth being praised. As you look around, the room is covered in spirals and 8-legged spiders. Art decorating the walls, and everything smells of fish and seaweed. There are crude chairs and benches arranged in a semicircle facing a smaller antechamber where it looks like water, maybe? Lapping at the top of some stairs are nearby, a dark shape circling within. You can see hundreds and hundreds of people here as this shape circles around. They don't seem to have noticed you.
When you say people, we mean like these look like people who could be living in the town upstairs?
Correct.
Or we mean like creatures like the squid people?
Like people.
And they look like they're among the living.
They do look like
Not
they are among the
undead.
living. You're not entirely sure what that dark shape is. Maybe it's among the living?
How far is the dark shape from us?
It is circling in the water. It's probably, I would say, let me look at the map. You guys are right here. If that, where I'm pinging, and it is right there in the little antechamber where those stairs are. So 20 feet. And this area right here is filled with people. Ignore that. Ignore what I uncovered. Shh, you saw nothing. There's nothing there at all.
Gwyn will try to send a message to Coral.
It doesn't
Move
exist.
forward or burn! Because burn's looking really good right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a lot of people to burn, though.
Are the walls
I'm-
stone or are they wooden?
It is all wood.
This
Even
seemed
if you
pretty-
burned, you could definitely burn this. But whatever is living in that circle of over there may not get that. You watch as a large fin crests the water and then circles back down in. Maybe a shark of some sort?
Okay. I know we snuck in here and it's dark, but we can all see each other. It's just none of them have noticed us because they're focused on the chanting.
Correct. That is how it appears.
Okay, so Coral kind of gets everyone's attention and then gestures. It's like, do we blow it up or do we run away?
Jeffrey pulls out her wooden pistol.
Real
Make me
Did-
perception checks.
perception checks? Okay.
$29.
19.
26.
And 20 total.
Okay.
21.
Alright, everyone who got a 20 or above, as you're watching these cultists chanting, you notice something strange. None of them ever take a breath. The sound is constant, yet there's no sign of breathing from any of them. You would expect to see, even if something was undead, you still need air to produce noise. But not a single person has taken a breath.
And they're just sitting.
They're all just sitting, facing the water, and chanting endlessly.
Can I look around again to see if I see any other people? Like, is there anyone around a corner or something and we just haven't seen them and that's who's actually chanting?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Are
Is
you
it-
moving around, or are you just creating your head?
She's trying to do it without moving much, but if
Okay.
I need to move to see something, she would adjust herself and I can roll another stealth check.
You don't see anybody.
I feel like kill it with fire is winning.
Same.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have to agree.
Could start their fire and see if the people move. You can scare them out, and whatever's in the water be left alone.
Are there any
If-
torches or anything in this room?
There are some torches, and as you look a little closer past the people, you do see a large chest of some sort sitting off to the side.
Does it look like our chest?
Looks like some sort of chest that might be filled with something good.
Do the people look like they're... I guess I have to investigate. Are they like an illusion, maybe? To
Make an
lure people away?
investigation check.
I'm not good at. I'm gonna use my inspiration because I was really. That was barely any better. It's a 9.
The idea that it might be an illusion is there, but you're not sure how to see through it. Maybe if you voice it to one of your party members, they might be able to find out.
We kind of like squint, and I can't tell. So, do they? Are they really there, or are they? Is this maybe an illusion to keep us away from whatever's in the water?
Good question.
It's a good idea, Fortune.
With the last of Jaffer's levitation, she's going to kind of like crawl down Gwilyn's side and then begin to like to scrabble her along the ground, like grabbing at the ground, kind of floating in the air towards the closest chair.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. She's
So as you're doing that and you reach for the chair, are you reaching for one that somebody's sitting in?
uh-huh.
Your hand goes right through them and touches the wood of a sturdy chair. But no one is in it. Jaffer, as that happens, the vision fades for you, and you see no one there. No water at the base of the stairs. The chest is still there, and no dark figure swimming.
So just the chest is in here?
Just a chest and an open passageway down.
Okay.
And the smell fades slightly.
Jaffer ends the spell and lands on her feet, and then she begins to like just like jump up and down and like gestures. No, there's nothing happening. This is completely garbage.
Oh,
Oh, good.
okay.
As
Well, that's a
Jaffer
relief.
helps break the illusion, you all see the room clear, the water clear, no dark shape, and just the chest sitting there, and an entryway down into darkness.
Right, so whatever's down here has some interesting magics.
Agreed.
Someone with lockpicks want to check that out. I'd check it for traps just in case. If I were you. If it's locked, I can just hit it. I mean, that's all I've got.
All right. I will investigate the chest to see if it's trapped or alive or anything like that.
If it comes to life and tries to eat you, I'll stab it.
There.
Well, I rolled a 2 for a total of 5.
Well, as you're checking it, you kind of knock it and you realize it's not locked and it's not trapped and you accidentally knock it open and everything's fine. And there are a great many pretties to be had inside of it.
Does anyone else really not trust this now? Somehow it's actually a bit creepier.
Nutcrackers.
I have to agree. Although, they may have thought that the illusion was going to chase anybody off so they wouldn't have to worry about it. After all,
That's
we
fair.
were hesitating to fight that many people.
Yes.
I was gonna blow them
That's
up.
fair.
That's true. We were
Yeah.
going to blow them up and run away, if anything.
Alright, what have we
What do
got
we
then?
find within the chest?
You find 8 sacks of coins, each containing 100 silver and 50 gold. A rusted iron coffer holding 17 pieces of jewelry worth a total of 1,530 gold pieces. 3 potions of healing. 4 potions of greater healing. 7 potions of water breathing.
Too fast. I can't type that fast.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
3 potions of healing and how many of greater healing?
4 of greater healing.
Okay.
And 8 water breathing?
7 water breathing.
7. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was 8 or 7.
Also inside is an object sealed in tightly sewn oilcloth.
Do we cut it open? Can it be untied or does it have to be cut?
You'd probably have to cut it.
Thoughts?
Whatever
Wow.
is inside has been well kept.
Maybe we should wait until we're not here just in case it triggers anything.
Do you want to do that?
Put it. Yeah, do that. Mm-hmm.
Alright, we'll put it in one of the sack then for later.
Alright, do you put it in one of the bags of holding or just a sack? I think you guys have a bag of holding with you, right?
Yeah, Fortune has it, I believe.
I have, yeah.
It is fairly large, so it doesn't appear sharp, though.
Do you want to put it in there till we're out of here?
Sure.
Fortune, as you take it from Gwilyn, you hear music inside as strings are hit.
Yeah, right there, Fortune.
Sounded like there was music. Maybe we should open it.
I've got a dagger if you like. Open the
Sure.
creepy thing that only Fortune's heard. Alright, let's go! And she'll try
Lots
to
of things
carefully-
only want to be known
Get it
to
open.
me for some reason.
I've noticed that. I have to admit I haven't cared for it thus far, but that's fair.
Begin to open it. You see golden painted wood shaped with dramatic faces and strings as you pull out a beautiful carved lyre. The tone is completely sweet and still in tune.
Well, that's lovely.
Yes.
It's beautiful, but I'm still a bit creeped out by the situation.
Well-
Other than our talking, is it just quiet in here?
It is now quiet. Once you saw through the illusion, the chanting stopped. It's just quiet. Which is the only reason that Fortune was able to hear the strings kind of getting hit as it was being moved.
I can put it in the bag holding for now. And then, yeah, we can continue on.
Alright.
That might be best for now. I don't know about crackers, but I'd hesitate to play it until we learned more about it.
What, you don't find a harp in the middle of a creepy place and decide to just randomly start playing it and see what happens? No?
It generally seems like a bad idea to me. Yeah, that's
Just a
surprising. I
bit.
know.
I hit some
Um,
of these drinks and it was fine.
I'm sure Jaffa can identify its properties for us when we have a bit more time.
Easily.
It's fair. Shall we continue to search?
Of course.
I'm good to go, yeah.
Now that the stench is gone? Alright.
So you guys begin to make your way down into the darkness of the tunnel.
Ah, yes.
You begin to walk. And it's fairly easy to get down there. As you begin to get a little further down, you do notice that it is sloping downwards. And about every 20 feet, there are torches. They light automatically as you walk by. Maybe they're enchanted.
How high are they off the ground?
They are about 4 feet off the ground.
Can one of you get that for me?
Sorry, Jaffer.
Sure.
It's okay.
Here you go.
Does it
Jaffer,
easily come off the wall?
And you now have an ever-burning torch.
Cool.
You begin to walk further, sloping ever so slightly downwards and winding westward. You walk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then you come to water lapping at the tunnel. It smells fresh. Not fresh water, but it smells like the sea, but not dank or unmoving. You all have potions of water breathing or other means necessary to breathe water if you choose to go forward. What would you like to do?
I can check it out if you like.
Yeah, no reason we can't all go together.
Alright.
Coral, you might want one of those potions.
Yeah, I'll need one of the potions if we're going to be going down for very long, but I agree we should stick together. It doesn't seem like a good idea to split up in a place like this.
Jaffer puts her hood up.
Coral grabs one of the water breathing potions and chugs it.
Let's go then. Cullen just eases forward into the water.
Galen, are you able to breathe underwater as well?
No, I think I'll need one of those potions. If you don't mind.
You can have mine. I don't need it.
I mean, we only have 6 now.
The rest of us can breathe underwater.
The other 4 you can breathe underwater with your magic items. I think we can spare a potion.
Yeah, we can.
I
Yes.
am unlocked.
I'm being rude. I'm sorry.
It's alright, this place gives me the willies. And he takes the potion, drinks it down, goes over to Fortune, kind of puts a hand out against his cheek and gives him a kiss and goes, "For luck," and then walks into the water.
Oh.
And a light in my office just randomly popped on that I was not expecting and startled me really badly. I was like, what the heck just happened? It suddenly got brighter in here.
The power of gay.
Yay!
Makes the world a little brighter.
Alrighty. It is dark. Do you all descend into the water or no?
Jaffer would activate an ever-burning torch that she has.
Excellent.
Yeah. How close is another ever burning torch?
Once you're in the water, you don't see any more. It looks like there's something lit, not too far in the distance though. Easy enough to see your way to it. You all make your way one at a time into the water. It's not too cold. You'd expect it to be chillier, but it's almost body temperature. It's very comfortable. Maybe the potions or different apparatuses that you are using to breathe makes it feel a little bit easier down here. As you focus on the light up ahead, Jaffer, your ever-burning torch begins to dim. Maybe it doesn't work very well down here. You begin to see an opening and a large spire up ahead, golden under the water. And then you see nothing. You can't see your friends. You can breathe just fine. But it feels like you're almost in a chamber of isolation.
Just like floating in water.
Floating in water. Comfortable. And you hear a voice. Coral, it reaches out to you first. You hear, "Hello? Are you here to help me?"
It's possible I am. I'd need to know more information to be able to tell you.
There are aboleths here. I need to protect them. I'm sorry, I need to protect my young from them.
If you don't mind my asking, what are you?
I am Sugathka.
And you're young?
My young is a kraken. I adopted it. Please, I'll give you anything you want for your help. Coral, what is it that Coral wants most in the entire world?
It's a really good question that I hadn't thought about for her yet, so I'm not sure.
I would like the rest of you to think about the answer to that question as well. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for the raid welcome party, RPG. We love you guys. Our party has been separated. They are floating in water and are being talked to by an unseen creature. While you are thinking on that, Coral, we'll go ahead. Just let me know when you're ready. Put a note in chat when you're ready. We'll go over to Crackers. Crackers, you hear in your head, "Hello? Are you here to help?"
Of course I am.
Oh, good.
Who are you?
I'm Sugathka. I really need help. I'm so glad. There are aboleths here, and they have my child. Please, I'll
Do what
give
you
you
want 'cause a
anything you
pirate
want.
is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you very much.
What do I know of Sagothka?
You
Do what you
remember
want 'cause a
hearing the
pirate is free.
cultists chanting
You
his
are a
name?
pirate.
And Crackers, what is it that Yuma want most in the world? And if you need a few more minutes, that is totally fine. Just let me know.
Well, what Crackers wants most of all is to be reunited with his mistress.
Did she, Tessa cannot remember the name of said mistress. If you would like to type it to me very quickly, that would be excellent. And I will come back to you. Thank you. Or don't need to come back to you then. You miss her, don't you? Serafina. I can bring you back together.
How do you know that name?
And now we're going to put a pause on Crackers. Gwillin. You hear a voice in your head. Daughter of the Sea, are you here to help me?
Possibly. That depends on who's asking.
My name is Sagathka. I'm in danger.
From what?
There are two aboleths here. They want to use my child against one another. There is a civil war brewing. And I need your help to stop it before it explodes everywhere.
How exactly would you be wanting my help? And where is your child?
In the spire up ahead, you can see the golden spire appear before you in your vision. Maybe 30 feet, 40 feet away. Please, I'll do anything. What is it that Gwillin wants most in the entire world?
Willin wants to be known as a greater hero than either of her parents.
I promise that I will sing your name and your praises across all of the planes of existence for your help. You would be known as a wonderful, great hero of Vale, the most famous.
And how exactly would you get me that?
And we're going to put a pause on that and we will head to Jaffer. Jaffer, you hear in your head, hello? Are you here to help?
I mean, I'm always willing to help for a price.
I can give you your price.
Where are you? I can't see.
I'm just beyond in the spire. And you see the golden spire appear from you, and your torch flares magically back to life. You can't see the others, maybe they're outside the radius of it. But you hear, I can bring her back.
What are you talking about? How can I help you?
My child needs protection. There are two aboleths down here. I need them taken care of or shunned or sent away.
Done. Where are they?
They're ahead in the spire.
With you.
I'm hiding from them. I will get you your marigold back.
That's a trick, but okay. Whatever. Whatever I can do.
And then lastly, we come to fortune. In fortune, you get. Hello.
Hello.
Do you come seeking me?
Who are you?
My name is Sagathka. You are not seeking fortune, you are fortune. Can you help me?
With what?
There are 2 large aboleths here. They seek to use my child as a weapon. I need help in shooing them away. I will give you whatever your heart desires. And fortune, what is that thing that you desire so very much?
Is it what he would say he wants or what he actually wants? Because they're two different answers.
He is actually pulling this information from your brain. So it is not what you say you would want, it is what you actually want more than anything in the world.
He wants to know what happened to his father.
I can tell you what happened to your father. Coral, did you come up with what you wanted more than anything in the world?
I think I came up with something. Just, as much as I'm thinking about it, she's just a very simple, like, family-oriented bard at heart. She wishes her gran was healthier. It's like family stuff. Wishes her gran was healthier. Hope, wants her family to be together. That kind of stuff. Wants Saltmarsh safe.
I know of an ointment that can restore health and vitality to those who've gotten older and more infirm. I'd be happy to give it to you.
And you say your child's be the one being trapped inside the spire?
Yes.
Are you sure it's not yourself and the aboleths are keeping you there on purpose?
No, I'm hiding here. I can't risk them finding me. Crackers. I know many things. I've seen many things. I know that you are far more and far greater than you seem.
What are you?
I am myself. I don't understand.
I will do what you ask, but know this. Whatever you are, if you are lying to me, you will regret it.
I expect nothing less from you, Lord Admiral. And one by one, your connection with each other seems to be restored. You can see the spire 30 feet ahead, glistening in the moonlight under the ocean depths and in a natural way.
Anyone else just have a conversation with a disembodied voice and avoid a total darkness?
Yeah.
That try to
Yes.
offer you things that you're not really sure they can deliver upon. Aye.
In exchange
Oh, really?
for
What did it offer you?
Something I'll have a hard time believing anything trapped under here could get me. I take it offered you something as well.
Oh, no, just appeal to my better nature.
Good to know.
to have one of those.
That's the part that was good to know.
I didn't say it was successful. I just said it tried.
Ah. That would
Okay.
explain why you sound suspicious then.
Jaffer's just staring at the spire, just like holding the torch, and her eyes are kind of vacant.
Jaffer, as you're staring at the spire, it looks like it begins to snow under the water as marigold flowers and astral peacock feathers begin to float down, surrounding the spire.
It said its name was Sagothka. That's the same
Aye.
name the cultists were chanting.
The illusion.
The fake ones. Aye.
Exactly.
It's definitely a trap, but if it has this kind of power, what are the odds it's going to let us leave of our own accord if we try to turn around now?
But if it wanted us to do this, and it could just stop us from not, why would it ask?
What if there's something keeping it from coming back? Like the cultists were chanting to get it released or something? If the
There
aboleths
were no
are-
cultists. Jaffer like turns. It was all an illusion, a stupid illusion to keep people away.
The best illusions have a kernel of truth in them. If Sagothka had cultists at any point, it might not be something we want to risk working with. And there's no guarantee that it's actually a child, even if it's a Kraken child, trapped inside there. It could just as easily be Sagothka itself, and it wants us to kill its guards that are keeping it prisoner for a reason.
What if it was the Aboleths who made the illusion and then put the word Sagothka in our head so that when we heard the voice and heard them speak out, we would think of that name as something negative?
We've already told about at least one Aboleth being down here, and they are
It's true.
abhorrent creatures. They deserve to be killed,
Yeah, apparently they're
regardless
causing-
of the Sagothka's intention.
They're causing problems for the city.
I'm not saying we shouldn't go investigate. I'm just saying we should be cautious and not trust what the disembodied voice decided to tell us.
Well, that's
She's
just
looking
common
at
sense.
Jaffer. She's
Yeah,
looking
obviously.
at Jaffer as she says this.
Yes, if it knows the things it was saying it would tell me. I can make assumptions. Don't like, so I
Any-
don't really care
Magic
about
can
helping.
be anything. Okay?
Anything that decides to isolate me from my friends, trap me in darkness, and pull thoughts out of my head is not something I'm likely to trust.
What? No? Can't imagine why.
Well, I won't survive in there without you, so whatever you want to do.
If you're going, I'll back you up. But be on your
That's
guard.
friend.
I'm not saying we don't go. I'm saying we be careful and we don't trust what it told us.
What do you all see when you look at the spire? Because
Uh,
what I see is a symbol of what I want.
Good looks.
I look over at it, like squint.
Fortune, you see hints. Whatever you do know, you see bits of similarities, symbolic things that would be tied to your father kind of shimmering in front of the doorway. Coral, you see a large vial of something resting against the door. Crackers, you see the color of Seraphina's hair gently waving. And Gwilyn, you see a map in front of the tower. Your family's crest on flags on every continent, but your name above it.
Yeah, it just looks like a spire. Still. She's still staring at it though.
Well, I see flowers and feathers, so
Oh, it's
maybe you don't want anything then, which I don't believe at all. But, secrets are fine amongst friends, right?
Is your deepest desire for
that what we
potpourri?
What's
Sure,
yours,
yes.
Crackers? Actually, you know what? Let's just argue about it later. We don't want Coral
Good
and
idea.
Gillen to run out of air.
Good
I was
idea.
just going to mention that actually. Are you all right, Gillen?
What we
I'm fine.
Does he look fine?
He does not look fine.
Didn't think so.
Yes, let's continue on.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, as you walk into this golden spire, you see a large tub with a little tentacle kind of splashing in the water. More water? Maybe it's not a tub, there's glass around it. And as you get closer, you can see a juvenile kraken encased in glass. You can see two large, unnatural creatures. And you can hear rumblings of them speaking to one another. Does anyone speak deep speech?
No, but if it sounds like they're talking, Gwilyn's gonna try casting comprehend languages.
I will need you to do so with a stealth roll if you'd like to keep from being noticed by the two aboleths, which look like 5 tentacled creatures with giant spiny-teethed mouths.
Yay! $17.
All right. They rolled a 4, so you're good. So the words, the rumbling begins to translate. And they're arguing on whether or not they should kill the juvenile kraken or enslave it. They talk about a war and that enslaving this creature would, as it grows, be a huge boon, as nothing in the sea can match the strength of a kraken, and the aboleths might never again have the opportunity to take care and control of such a weapon in their fight against the gods. The other one says that this kraken can't be controlled. It's been tainted by exposure to Sagothka's religious beliefs, and all gods are anathema to aboleths. It should be destroyed before its poisoned thoughts can influence others. They go back and forth for a bit, talking about the audacity of Sagothka to pledge himself to a god. And a goddess of trickery and evil like Rinth. Not that the other aboleths care of what type of god she is. The mere fact that one of them is allowing themselves to be tainted by such influence is cause enough for their death. Gwilyn, you know these are incredibly intelligent creatures. Potentially they could be reasoned with if you don't wish to fight them. But you'd have to be very careful.
She kind of tries to gesture to the others to back up a little bit, and let's see, who would she try to message? Jaffer, because Jaffer's most likely to go in first. And attempt to relay a little bit of, alright, so they want to kill the baby kraken because they say it's tainted by Rinth, and there's a possibility that if we're careful, we could get through this without bloodshed if we talk to them. So don't rush in just yet.
Is this Gwilyn? Okay, that sounds
Aye.
good. Your voice sounds amazing in my head. Sorry. Yeah, sure. I'll hold tight.
She's laughing quietly.
There was almost Diet Coke all over my screen. Your voice sounds amazing in my head. Okay, I don't know why I found that so funny. Alright. Oh,
right.
Gwilyn. You hear one other thing as you're trying to attempt that. The Island of Bones. And Sigothka's failed ritual in his attempt to initiate such a place into an existence for Rinth. Bad enough that his pledge to Orcus failed. He had to try again with Rinth.
See, I was going to talk to Crackers next, but Gwilyn is now going to assume that Crackers is going to want no part of this and is going to talk to Coral next. Sorry. Right, so bad news is that from what they're saying, Sigothka is connected to the Isle of Bone, which, bad. But there's a chance we could talk them out of killing the baby kraken, which they say is tainted by all of this. But we might be able to talk to them.
So basically, we're fucked.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you very, very much for the follow.
I suppose if we can talk to them without fighting, that's better. It's safer in a way. Maybe we could get the Kraken away from them.
I'd like to save the kraken if we can, for obvious reasons.
But I don't necessarily want to give it to Sigothka.
Well, no, I'd want to keep it, to be honest.
It's all right with me. I like pets.
Fortune and Crackers. The voice of Sigothka creeps back into your minds. Do you see them? Do you see how they've imprisoned my child? They are evil and should be punished. They want a war.
How far are we from the aboleths?
You are about 60 some odd feet away from them currently. And you can hear the rumbling of them and their talking. You
I
don't
shall
see
wait
where
for
this
my-
Sagothka person is.
Well, I see lips moving and no sound, so I'll wait for my turn to be messaged.
Crackers? Alright. I think we can reason with them. I think we should free the baby Kraken. Yes, I know. But I don't know about this Sagothka because according to the aboleths over there, Sagothka is involved in the Isle of Bone. That whole thing being started.
The Isle of Bone is in the thing the Rinth worshippers are trying to do.
That's the one.
Oh. Okay, well, that clears things up rather dramatically. So they were. I will cast message to Gwilyn. So they're arguing over whether or not to kill the baby Kraken. Was one of them in favor and
They both seem to think that they should kill it, but they think it's tainted by Sagothka and the Rinth.
I see. I shall cast message to the aboleths, and I shall say to them, you should definitely kill that Kraken.
The conversation immediately stops as these two creatures turn their attention towards you. And upon seeing you,
That parrot.
if they could cock their heads to one side and look intrigued, they would.
Hello. Fancy meeting you down here. We were checking things out for the town above and ended up down here. I see you've a bit of a problem from the looks of it. Why is that locked up?
You hear twin voices in all of your heads simultaneously. Did Sagothka send you?
Send? No.
No.
We have not been sent. We were trying to help the townspeople above. Technically true.
Are you helping him?
Quite the opposite, no. We've been on the trail of this Isle of Bones thing people have been talking about, and we're rather against it. We'd like to stop it.
Very
And-
instinct.
It seems that Sagothka is somehow connected to Rinth, and that Kraken may as well be connected to Rinth. I think you're quite right in wanting to destroy them both.
It's possible that I could talk to the Kraken. I can speak with a lot of sea creatures. Not for Sagothka, just to be clear. I don't want to help with that. I just don't like to see other sea life harm.
How can we trust you? You came from above. You are not part of this.
Technically, I've no desire to be part of this. I just want to help the people above, and hopefully, because it's a very young Kraken, that Kraken over there.
You wish to stop the killings
Aye,
that Sagothka was doing to add to the Isle of Bones. The only way to do that is to kill Sagothka himself.
happy to try.
I suppose if you do this, then we could trust you and we could talk about this. And they gesture towards the Kraken.
And do you know where we could find Zagathka or any weaknesses? Maybe you could help.
His
We
only
are definitely
weakness is-
against.
His only weakness is his blind adoration of the anathema goddess.
That's fair.
He lurks just outside the spire, too afraid to come in, to face his brethren.
Is there a reason that you're in here arguing over a baby Kraken instead of going out there after Rint? Or going out there after Zagathka?
He is not worth our time.
Oh, so he's an Aboleth.
Yes.
I lived it back down.
And the pieces are just falling together. Look at this pretty picture we're making. Okay.
Isn't
Yes,
it
I
lovely?
think that's quite agreeable to everyone. Yes? Kill Zagothka, we're all agreed? Yes? Hmm?
But it's a lot more doable than what I was expecting. I don't think we could kill a Kraken.
No,
going to-
you could kill a Kraken. This one is very young, and it's been starved and driven mad. It's possible.
I'm going to swim over a little closer to Jaffa and say, Rinth is a goddess of deception. Her followers are not to be trusted in anything they may say.
You're trusting two Aboleths against an Aboleth you don't trust.
Enemies of my enemies?
Good point.
Why has the baby Kraken been starved and driven mad?
To be an offering for Rinth to unleash upon the city when the time is right. We do not care about the Landwalkers. We simply do not want a threat like this to survive and thrive in waters where they could eventually hunt us.
That's fair.
We cannot in Kraken.
Well,
That's
if
a fair concern.
we help you take out Zagathka, I definitely wouldn't attack you with the Kraken. I'd just like to try and help it recover and not follow Rinth, definitely.
If the Kraken lives, it will come with us for reconditioning.
What sort of reconditioning?
Psychic reconditioning to return it to the way that nature intended it to be. With all due respect, you are a landwalker and do not understand such things.
You already have one anyway.
It's smaller.
It's a freshwater one, though, yeah.
You get one of each.
There is a large howling, keening noise from outside the spire, as if frustrated, as if there is a large frustration happening.
Well, I can probably guess who that is.
Hmm. Go and meet him, destroy him, and we shall talk upon your return.
Glenn kind
We
of
will
looks at everybody.
decide what to do afterwards. You have our word.
Well,
But
I'd rather deal with one Aboleth than two.
that's fair.
If
Agreed.
it's following Rin, then
Oh, I get it, because Rinth is like spiders, and then Sagothka's like octopus, and then eight legs, 8 limbs. I get it.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you understand. We do not.
Pretty superficial, but sure.
Right. So we're fighting a crazed aboleth who's mad at us now.
or we're killing a god. How heroic.
Well, that depends on the god, to be honest.
God,
Whatever we decide to
water
do, we should
spiders.
do it quickly.
All right, let's go talk with Sagothka then.
Very well. We will wait and decide the young one's fate. If you succeed, we will take your words into consideration.
Please don't kill it while we're gone.
You have our word. The creature will not be harmed while you are not here to discuss further.
Much obliged. Gwilyn turns and goes.
All right. You head out into the depths. And Gwilyn, almost immediately you are set upon by a large creature, seething in anger. You did not save my child.
I'm working on it. I really am. They're hard negotiators.
I can hear you.
Hearing what I say and actually knowing what I mean are two different things, though, to be fair.
I don't mean your words. And a tentacle comes out of nowhere, and roll initiative, please.
Do
10.
11.
A natural 20 for a 24.
Nice. Let's have a water fight. Do 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 do.
What's Gellen's dex mod?
-1.
So I rolled higher, or I rolled lower, and got higher. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's only had to really be dexterous in the ring. He doesn't rely on it full time. All right. Crackers, you come out as this tentacle comes out and narrowly misses Gwilyn. Because I did roll for it, and he did not miss. Oh, while I am thinking about it really quickly, never mind. It'll start next round. I'll don't worry about it. Go ahead, Crackers.
Very good. I shall focus my attention on Sagothka, and with a trilling screech, I will cast Mind Sliver. It must make an intelligence saving throw.
That is 13.
Oh no, that's a failure. So it's going to take some psychic damage.
Excellent.
That is 14 points of psychic damage.
Alrighty.
And the first time this creature makes a saving throw, before the end of my next turn, it must subtract a d4 from the roll.
Nice.
And as a bonus action, I shall look towards Gellin, and I shall say, "Oh, Gellin, you're so fine, now kill this thing. Oh, Gellin. Oh, Gellin." And grant
Perfect.
him a d10 inspiration die.
All right.
And I shall swim back to keep about 60 feet between myself and Zugothka.
Good plan. Gwilyn.
Okay, Gwilyn is now going to use Action Surge.
Alrighty.
And then attack with your swords as usual. Okay, I've got... Yeah, that is 6 attacks. Okay, the first
Good
two... Yep. I've got a 14.
14 does not
10.
hit. Neither does a
Okay.
10.
I
For the
kinda
sake
figured.
of time, because we are getting
Yes.
close to the end, the AC is 17 to hit.
Okay, then the next two hit, they are over that. And, okay, 3 of them hit.
Alrighty.
Bad rolls. $25.
Alrighty. All right, and I believe, is that all for you? I say, is that all?
Yes.
Like, that's not like
I
incredible.
mean,
Jaffer.
Jaffer's going to pull out a like a pocket watch, and she's gonna crank it and point it at Fortune, and it begins to move faster and faster. And as it does, Fortune, you get like faster because Jaffer casts haste on you.
Nice.
So I'll post the stuff for that. But that's pretty much what Jaffer does for her turn.
Alrighty. And that brings us to Fortune.
Okay. I'm going to attack a whole.
All right, attack a whole bunch. DC 17.
Ooh, that first attack action was nothing. One of them was a nat one. It was bad.
That is bad.
The second one, hang on. On the second one, one hit.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 damage. And for my bonus action, I'm going to Flurry of Blows.
Alrighty.
Try to hit again, maybe. No. Wow. 6 attacks, 1 hit.
Aw. Alrighty. Coral.
Okay. Well, all right. So, I need a save. Was it again? I need a charisma save. I'm gonna
Minus a D4, correct?
I'm casting Bane.
Let's see here. So 18. That is minus the d4.
Okay, so unfortunately it does make the save, so that doesn't do anything. Okay, bonus action. Inspiration to Galen already has it. So to Crackers.
Right.
Let's show this thing how bards fight. And you get a d10, and mine can be used to add to attack damage, or you can use it to subtract from an attack on you. In addition to
Thank
the
you.
regular stuff. Okay, that's it.
Excellent. All right. Galen is going to move forward and place a hand on Gwilyn's shoulder. And clutching his holy symbol in his other hand, he looks into your eyes and says, I know that you can do this. And uses his channel divinity to give you guided strike for a plus 10 bonus to your next attack roll.
Ooh, see?
And as he does afterwards, you see him kind of like jump a little bit and square up as he does something and you see a little quick glow across him of magic, and he seems a little bit tougher in that moment. And he looks ready for taking some hits. And then it's Sagothka's turn. Let's see here. So first attack is going to be on Gwilyn. Does a 23 hit you?
No, not at all. Yeah, that hits.
All right, you will take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and then I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. The saving throw is a synthetic
I'm sorry, say that again?
synthetic 20. It's 20 total.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen as another tentacle comes towards you. Take another 12 points of damage, and please make another con saving throw as Jaffer, a tentacle comes towards you. Does an 18 hit you, Jaffer?
Not as because Jaffer, she's going to move her hand up, and there's like a little bit of a gauntlet on it, and a little shield appears as she casts shield to deflect the attack.
Okay, great.
That's 6.
All right. Thank you. I am making a note. Nothing seems to happen for now.
Okay.
Alrighty, and back up to the top of round 2. Crackers.
I shall swim up to 30 feet of a distance between myself and Sagothka, and focusing upon this creature, I shall say with magically enhanced intensity, you're very good at reading people's minds and finding their secrets, but you've gone and given yours away so foolishly. Should be quite amusing to watch your child be tortured, and I shall cast Ego Whip, and Sagothka must make an intelligence saving throw.
Alrighty. That's a 3.
Oh, that's a failure. So, for the next minute, it has disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, and cannot cast spells. At the end of each turn, it can make another intelligence saving throw.
Alrighty. That is perfect for its for its legendary action to pop off. And let's see here. I'm going to roll a d6 really quickly. All right. Gellin needs to make a save against something. All right. Noted. Okay. And Gwilyn, your turn.
Okay. And I'm actually going to try something different. At least I think I am, depending on if you tell me it works. Alright. Alright, yeah. I'm going to... She's going to cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Which is a cantrip. And because of the thing I have... Oh no, I can still do that. Alright, yeah. Never mind. I was reading.
No worries.
Okay. Toll the Dead to hit is... Nope. But I don't think... Does that... Do I need to roll to hit on Toll the Dead?
The saving
what I
throw,
was
I
checking.
believe.
It's a saving throw. Okay.
So I will
So
make that
it's-
a disadvantage.
Okay, and it's 14.
As soon as I can find where my other d20 went. There it is.
I just don't use
Well,
this
one was a natural 20. But because of the disadvantage... And you said it was a what saving throw?
14. Wisdom.
Wisdom? That is a 9.
Okay. The die I never use. Sorry, I was looking at how many. 2 of them. Okay. That's 15.
Alrighty.
And then she's going to drop one of her weapons and cast Shadow Blade.
Ooh.
And that allows you to attack as part of it, right? I was trying to check that. I believe you can still attack once with it. I just don't get any of the others.
Okay.
When I
sounds
cast
good.
It's a bonus action to attack, so I think
Yeah.
as an action you can attack with it.
Yeah. Okay. Does that mean I attack on this turn? Is the only question.
I say go ahead. For
Okay, sorry.
sake of No, you're fine. You're totally fine.
So that is synthetic 20 to hit.
Mhm.
And that is 9 psychic damage.
Mhm.
And 12 regular piercing.
All right. As you do that, the aboleth kind of hisses as it is unhappy with what you have done here.
Good.
So much so
This is
that it is going to take its next legendary attack against you. Rolling with
Figures.
disadvantage.
It's okay.
Ugh. Well, it misses because it is very angry. Never.
Jeffrey's gonna square up, raise her wooden pistol, and shoot a firebolt at it.
All right.
That misses.
Okay. Fortune.
Gonna attack. And also attack.
Good plan.
Well, none of those 4 hit. Try my bonus action.
Hmm.
No. Nothing hit. I did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sagothka's legendary is skipped this particular time. Coral. Unless, Fortune, you have another attack?
No, that was both actions and my bonus action.
Okay. So then, yes, Coral.
Okay. Is there a way that I could hit it with a spell that has a 20-foot radius without hitting other people? Can I?
Yes, it is very large and you can aim it appropriately.
Okay, then I need an intelligence save.
Alright, at disadvantage. That's a 6.
Okay, so I cast Synaptic Static. So it's going to take 8d6 psychic damage.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's 30 psychic damage. And it has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. It can make an
Excellent.
intelligence saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success.
Alrighty. Gellin has been uncharacteristically silent. And while it looked like he had been squaring up to throw a punch, his eyes look a little glazed over as he turns and looks at Fortune and raises his fists and throws a punch. And it is a natural 20, because of course it is. Oof, oof. Okay. For 19 points of damage with 1 punch. He looks like he's getting ready to raise his fists again, but he can't. There's something keeping him from doing it. And that is Gellin's turn. And it is Sagothka's turn. Sagothka is going to attempt to do some tentacle attacks. And the first one is going to go on to, I think, Gwilyn, because she's the closest. So at disadvantage. Yeah, it's a 3. Let's see here. The next one on Gwilyn. Alright, that one hits. Wait, hang on. But, okay, I rolled a 1 on the d6, so that still makes it a 24. So I'm assuming that hits. For 12 points of damage. And then the last one does not hit. And is there one that I can make a save at the end of my turn? Is that the...
For both mine and Coral's, I believe, an intelligence saving throw for each.
And they're
Yes.
both at disadvantage with the -6. So that for Coral's continues on, as does Crackers. Didn't even need the -6. It was real bad. And that brings us back up to the top of the round. To Crackers. Sagothka is not looking well. And Gellin still has that really glazed over look in his eyes.
I will start with the bonus action, and I shall look towards Fortune and say, oh no, my mind just went blank. You got this, Fortune. It's all good. And I grant Fortune a D10 inspiration die. That's embarrassing. And then for my action, I shall make sure I'm within 30 feet of my allies, and I shall begin a vivacious performance. I shall begin to sing and dance. I shall sing, shake, shake, shake off that charm, shake off charm effects. Shake, shake, shake off that charm, shake off charm effects. And I'm using counter charm. So my allies have advantage on saving throws versus charm and fear effects for the next round.
Nice. Excellent. Sagathka is going to use a legendary ability. You guys all watch as Gellin kind of seizes up again. And he looks pained as Sagathka looks a little stronger. And then Gwilyn.
Right, that's not good. And she will take her usual attacks, though also with the Shadow Blade as one of her weapons. So 2 of them hit.
Right?
$27 damage total.
Gwilyn. How would you like to end Sagathka?
She'll start forward with both blades just kind of slashing in a circular motion, and then the Shadow Blade goes right into the neck, and the black of her Shadow Blade just seems to ooze a kind of smoke through him as it hits and deals the necrotic damage. And you see him kind of seize up a little bit like he just did to Gellin as it takes him down.
Excellent.
I
Gellin,
was going to say to his knees, but then I wasn't sure if he had knees.
I mean, his tentacly knees, yes.
Tentacly knees.
The second he dies, Gellin drops to all fours, gasping, and looks up at Fortune, just like apology written all over his feature. Like, I am so sorry. Just, can you forgive me?
Yeah, it's fine.
Jaffer goes over to Fortune and puts her hand on his shoulder and says, "It's time, I'm sorry." And she clicks her pocket watch, and for the next 6 seconds, Fortune's just like frozen in place because she ended the haste.
Right, everyone okay? And go and collect your other sword. By
Oh
calling
yes,
it.
splendid. Do you need some help? You look a little banged up.
Just a bit. That hurt a bit.
It looked like it did. Yeah.
I shall
It's
cast
worse though.
a 3rd level cure wounds on Gwilyn.
Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me yet. I didn't roll that well. That is 16 points of.
It's something.
How bad does Gwilym look?
I mean, it's over half. She wouldn't be trying to show it, so she probably looks like she's a little beat up, but she's like, I'm okay.
So shall we go talk to them about the Kraken now?
Sounds good to me.
Before we go back, I am of the opinion that the Kraken should be destroyed. I don't trust it if it has been tainted by Rinth.
We've
I
heard
respect
word-
your love for all sea creatures, Gwilyn,
Most.
but most. But this is too dangerous to be let to live, and I don't like the idea of them taking it and reprogramming it, so to speak.
I don't like
don't
the idea
exact-
of them taking it either.
I don't exactly trust that.
I might have a different option.
Yes.
Well, one of the spell books I have that I've been flipping through and learning spells from. I don't know if it'll work on it or not. I'd have to do a little more research maybe, but I might be able to awaken it.
That would be amazing.
The Krakens are intelligent.
Even if they've been driven mad.
It's a baby. How smart could it be?
Just making it smarter. And then what?
I would like to remind you that even at a juvenile size, it is huge. It is larger than both of the aboleths. And
Yeah,
even driven mad, yes, it is still very intelligent.
Okay, that was going to be my question. I wasn't sure. I know Heather knows Krakens are intelligent, but I wasn't sure about a baby that was crazy. Okay. I'm not saying it's
Potentially
a
crazy.
I'm not saying it's a smart idea or that it would necessarily work. I was just trying to throw some options out there.
What if we bargain for the opportunity to talk to the Kraken? See, because we've only got their word that it's gone mad. Just to talk to it. If it seems completely off its rocker, praise rent and all that, then that's a whole nother story than if it's just starved and could be brought back to health. As an option. I mean, we could try talking to it directly if they'd let us do that, and we could judge for ourselves how far gone it is.
I'd feel more comfortable with that too, just because I know it's a Kraken, but it's still a baby.
Aye.
If it was attacking us, that's one thing. That's self-defense, and I don't mind having to take down a dangerous animal, even if it's a baby, if it's attacking you, but it's trapped in a glass tub. It's not attacking us, it's just sitting there, and like she said, we've only got their word for it. At least talking to it doesn't seem like it's a bad idea.
If it seems violent and mental, then I either let them take it back and take our chances with that risk, or put it down and out of its misery. But at least try talking and see if there is a chance that it could be helped. Would you agree to that, Crackers?
I am fine with this, but if this is the road to, is everyone prepared to fight 2 more today? Because that becomes a very
Sure.
real possibility.
I'm fine.
It wouldn't be my first choice, I'm not gonna lie. But I've got enough juice in me to still to fight a couple more things, I think.
I've done nothing. I can fight anything.
If we have to. We'll try and reason our way through it. See if they'll let us talk to it, if we can prove to them that we can reason with it somehow. And if that doesn't work, then prepare for everything to hit the fan.
They've been fairly reasonable so far. I think they'll at least let us talk to it, but Beyond that, it's a big question mark.
It is.
Jeffrey's eyes just go vacant. She's like looking at the dead aboleth, just like lost in thought.
So you guys make your way back inside. With Sagothka dead, the illusion of this tank holding this tiny kraken is gone. And what you see instead is a deep, deep pit heading down into the depths. You can't see much in there, except for a bit of sickly green skin and the symbol of Rinth carved into a fishy forehead. Just from the glimpse you get, you can see that it is huge. And as you get closer, you can see glyphs and sigils writhing around the pit that you've never quite seen before, though the magic in them seems to be fading. And the two aboleths come in. We see you have taken care of it.
Aye. If you're willing, we would like the chance to speak with the Kraken ourselves. You can stay and watch us do it. I'd just like to judge for myself how far gone it is. I don't feel comfortable. As you said, you don't have reason to trust us. We don't have much reason to trust you either. If we could have the chance to just judge for ourselves and check on it.
We are not opposed to you doing what you need to do to make peace. But we do think it should be destroyed.
I understand that. And after we talk to it, we might well agree with you on that. I'd just like the chance to see for myself. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Very well.
Thank you.
Do you all go over, or is it just Gwyn?
There's only a couple people that can speak to it, I think.
I can go over too. The last Kraken was able to speak to me, so.
Yes, that one was a baby. This one, being a juvenile, can actually do a little bit more.
So, any ideas what we want to ask? Other than, are you okay?
If you start asking it questions about what it wants and what it thinks of Sagothka, that would tell us a lot.
Aye. Alright. Hello down there.
There is a
I don't know
sudden
your
rush
name,
of
Kraken.
water as you speak, as it shoots itself up out of the pit. Tentacles 20 feet long, splaining around as this huge monstrosity comes out and fixes you with red, mad eyes and a mouthful of needle-sharp teeth.
Hi.
Lunch.
No. No. Hopefully, just wanted to talk to you and see how you were doing. We heard you weren't being well treated here. Hadn't eaten well. might be able to find you something. Do you have a name you'd be willing to share with me?
You may call me Queen or Your Majesty. I believe it is proper for those below to bow when in the presence of something great. If aboleths could roll their eyes, they would be.
Do we all hear this, or is it just Gwilyn?
The juvenile kraken cannot really control their telepathy very well at this point. So yeah, you get it.
Yeah, this is not going great. Well, you're kind of bigger than me, so you're not exactly... But you notice the ocean. Am I really below, per se? You don't even know what my titles are.
You are not Sagothka.
I'm
You are
not.
not Rinth. Therefore, you are below. Well, even Sagothka is below.
Not fond of Sagothka, then.
He was useful for a time. But a true monarch of the sea needs no sycophant. So, lunch, what is it that you want?
Yeah, honestly, I'm in favour of the Aboleth plan here. But how do you feel about this rent of yours? You seem rather fond.
Eventually, I will eat her too, as I will eat most things.
Is that just your plan? Eat everything?
Yes,
Not much of a queen then. If you eat everything, you don't really have any power.
no, to consume them is to consume their power. I will be God. Of
But if you eat- If you eat everything, then you eat some who weren't worthy. That sort of takes you back down if you notice.
Bored now. And a tentacle comes flailing towards you.
And she dodges back with Misty Step.
The aboleths, upon seeing this, immediately start moving towards you.
Yeah, go for it. She's mental.
You may want to leave before destruction happens.
That's valid. Anyone want anything before we go? Souvenirs? No?
There's really not much in here.
Alright.
Piece of the Kraken.
Not that one. Not that one. I'll pass. Congrats, you found one I don't want.
So which level of health froze over?
I'm not sure. Haven't been recently. I lose track. Well, goodbye, Your Majesty. Short may you reign. Let's go.
And as you turn to leave, the aboleth descends upon the juvenile kraken. And you make your way back up. Into fresher air. Out of the depths. Gellin is anxious to leave. And you are able to collect your rewards and to get back on the ship to leave behind this island.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to try that prize fighting thing, this place, wow, it's really gone to the pits, hasn't it?
We were brokering an agreement for some armed forces, I believe.
Yes, and they have promised you armed forces, and they will arrive on a secondary ship. They will leave tomorrow morning.
Don't bring any cultists, please.
Saltmarsh doesn't sound like it's going to be much better, but yes.
Fortune, Gellin comes to you later again and apologizes for what happened. I was not in my right mind.
It's fine. I'm not holding it against you.
You are too good. Thank you. Is there anything anyone else would like to do on the island before the Clockwork Dragon puts out to sea, as well as the Lady of the Marsh?
Coral at some point would ask Gellin, should we ask your friend if he'd like to go back to Saltmarsh with us? I know he's got a church here, but he's not exactly being treated very well.
Hopefully, with the destruction of everything, he might start again, now that the killings will stop. I don't know that he'll come.
That's fair.
But thank you.
I just feel bad. He's so nice.
To a fault.
Gellin doesn't seem like he wants to go back into town. At all, does he?
He doesn't particularly want to, but he will to pick up the rewards and things that you guys have all arranged for. Which I don't remember off the top of my head. I know we have them in the notes, but you guys do get paid for your efforts in finding the information on Mr. Dory, as well as procuring the Ooh! Thank you for the bits.
Thank ye for the doubloons.
Thank you. So you do manage to get all of that good stuff. So he will go into town a little bit.
Because he seems upset. Fortune kind of waves the others to walk off. Says, if you're really feeling bad, you can make it up to me by buying me a drink.
I would buy you 1,000 drinks. Maybe not all at once. That sounds like a terrible idea. But yes, I will buy you a drink. Where would you like this drink from?
Your friends seem nice. We'll go back to her establishment.
Got it. All right. To the Sloppy Sandbar. So he takes you off to the Sloppy Sandbar and buys you a drink. Is it just that you want a drink, or are there ulterior motives afoot?
Ulterior motives, probably.
Okay, what are these ulterior motives? The second he walks in and the bar is full, there is an uproar. Do you tell your friends before you go, or do they figure it out when they see you walking away?
I was gonna say, does anyone hear it?
I'll let them figure it out. Yeah. Just try to cheer him up.
Anyone wanna go spy on their date?
Yes.
Up to a
Alright,
point.
let's go!
Up to a point, at least. Yeah. Why not?
Well, I mean, we'll only follow the public places.
We need something a bit more happy after what just happened.
Aye.
At least this will be cute.
So you guys managed to all make it at separate times. Fortune and Gillen have secured a small little table, and people are sending you both drinks from all over. They're so excited to see Gillen in the bar. Like, you guys don't have to worry about a tab. You are drowning in drinks, basically. And then Crackers, Coral, and Gwilyn all come into the bar, and it is so loud and so raucous. And Gellin is sitting there as three people are reliving his glory days in front of Fortune, telling them about his boxing prowess and this and that, and how you're so lucky, and how he's lucky to have you, and they want to see him fight, and he's just like, no, it's I'll leave that to younger people. And it's hard to get a bit of a word in edgewise, but at some point he does sneak his hand across the table to grab yours, Fortune, and he sits there with your fingers entwined while he's trying to shove off his adoring fan base.
Fortune probably isn't helping because he just looks completely delighted by all these stories. Like, he's real excited about it.
Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. There are many offers to both of you to take a turn in the pit if either of you choose. Gellin looks at you and goes, I will if you will.
Oh. Well, maybe. Yeah.
Just not against you. So how many rounds is Fortune willing to go in the pit? We'll just do flat d20 roll-offs to see how well you do.
Like,
Chiffon, punch each other to show affection. No, we're not going to punch each other to show affection. They will fight other people, but not each other.
Probably 2, and depending on how well that goes, then another one probably.
All right.
I shall act as Fortune's hype man.
Alrighty. So how do you hype up Fortune?
Ladies, gentlemen, and others, onlookers, all those who have come for a spectacle, you shall not leave this night disappointed. Behold, from far across the sea, a student of ancient techniques of martial prowess, Fortune comes to best any challenger in the pit.
Alrighty. Let's do our... Because of your hype man, you may roll at advantage for this first fight.
Oh, it's not I'm not adding any.
Go ahead and add in your dexterity modifier with
Okay.
proficiency.
18.
I got a natural 1. So you just boom. It is a fast fight. And people are cheering and calling your name, and you hear cries of, me next, me next. Do you go for a second?
Yes.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll again. This time not at advantage, but you can still add in your dex and proficiency. Indeed, Rusty, they do call that a quickie.
15 that time.
I got a 14, so this one's a little closer matched, but you do manage to pull it out.
Yeah, one
I-
more then.
I lead the crowd in chanting Fortune's name.
Fortune, fortune, fortune. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
$24.
I got a 15. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that you are the man to beat tonight. As you pull out the third win. Everybody looks impressed and they're like, I can see why you caught Galen's eye. Do you go for another one or do you call it after 3?
I think that's probably enough.
All right. Galen says he will get in the ring at least once. And the crowd cheers wildly. Not quite as loud as they were just cheering for your last win, Fortune, but they are going crazy as the bartender jumps up on the bar and yells, "Attention everybody, we have Mr. Moxie himself back in the ring." And Galen just turns red and just like, oh God.
I feel like
Woo! Go, Galen! Take off your shirt!
way! We'll remember this.
You hear like chants and calls of Mr. Moxie, Mr. Moxie over and over again as he gets up into the ring.
Gwyn will join them, laughing.
Alrighty.
same.
And he does take off his shirt to the cheers of many, many people in the bar. And the fight happens. We'll see how he does here. And Galen gets a natural 20. I was gonna say, if he, 10 or better, he wins. 10 or lower, he loses, and he gets a natural 20. So Galen in still good fighting form against an opponent who is younger and seems to have a little bit more recent experience. Still proves that he is the champion as you watch him circle his opponent like a shark in the water. And with a quick haymaker and a roundhouse, his opponent is flat out. And the two of you are crowned the winners for the evening. He absolutely refuses when people are saying that you two should fight each other. He says, absolutely not. Already people are starting to talk about Fantastic Fortune and Mr. Moxie. And you are told that you can come back at any time. And your entire party has free drinks for the rest of the night. And being that it is 10:30, I think that is where we will leave it for the evening.
It's a good place.
Oh my! Goodness gracious, chat.
Wow.
Rusty, you cad.
Well, chat shot straight to NC-17.
Yes, they did. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to Dead Men Tell No Tales this evening. It was wonderful to be back after our break. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to my amazing players. We are sorry that Jaffer had to step away. But I can't believe I'm allowing fisting in chat, but I am. That sounded way worse than I meant. I meant I'm allowing
No.
the word to be used in chat.
No.
Okay.
And good night, everybody.
You are jumping up 2. You guys did great against an aboleth, talking your way out of fighting 2 aboleths and letting them take care of the Kraken for you. So very no, Rusty, no. Before I turn into a tomato redness, I want to say thank you again to my amazing players. And I will let them introduce themselves and say goodnight. Starting with Coral, while I go hide.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather. I play Coral. You can find me here on Tuesdays as Val in Shenanigans, or every Friday here as Coral. You can also find me on the Geek Thyself podcast, where me and actually Rusty from chat talk about different nerdy topics, but in a family-friendly way. And you can find me on Twitter at amethyst_magic with a CK.
Excellent. And Crackers.
Yes, Crackers here. You can find me here on this stream on Friday evenings, portraying Crackers, the awakened parrot bard. My assistant, Matthew, can be found on Twitter at Matthew A. Siebert. He can also be found as the Dungeon Master for the Land Above podcast.
And Fortune. Who is currently frozen for us.
Yeah.
So Fortune is portrayed by Jay, who you can find on Twitter. He is amazing, and his commissions are open if you are looking for art. And we'll go to Gwilyn.
Hello, Autumn. I play Gwilyn Hayes here every Friday night, the CL Fighter. And you can find more about my art and my writing on Twitter as Lassalon Templates.
Yes. Gwilyn.
Oh no!
Our oh no!
Oh dear.
You're gonna do the history of
It was all
pornography.
those
I want Anne as
jinx.
a guest.
It was all those jinx. Just the cameras had too many. That's what it was.
It's all falling
Yep.
apart.
Oh, we're all frozen.
We are now halved. So as our stream has had too many to drink, as they were all at the sloppy sandbar, we will go ahead and call it a good night. Thank you everyone for coming out. And as I do love to say every Friday night, carry on, you funky little tieflings. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.